hindi po namin makuha, bakit po yung personnel ng customs ay hindi po ginalaw, hindi nakasuhan? Bakit ko ako na isa sa mga nanghuli, ako po ang kinasuhan? Pinaka-worst pa po noon, may umadmit pa kung sino ang may-ari ng kargamento na hinuli namin na nawawala hanggang ngayon. Hindi na makita. It was presented in the Senate. Then after na may present sa Senate, nawala yung umamin na kanya yung consignee, siya ang may-ari ng consignee. So ako na po ang hinabol ng hinabol nung dating administrasyon.
Mga katanungan sa aking isip. Bakit po yung nanghuli, siya ngayon ang nakakulong?
Sobrang nakakagulat na balita. Grabe, Congressman Romeo Acop pinakita na. Pinakita ebidensya kay Duterte ni Romeo Acop. Pinakita tinuro sa shabu at drugs. Ayon sa nakalap nating impormasyon, napaamin na si Jimmy Guban ni Congressman Romeo Acop, napaamin na ang dating administrasyon ang may kasalanan daw lahat. Kung bakit siya lang daw ang nakakulong, gustong pagtakpan ni Duterte ang nahuli niya sa Bureau of Customs na shabu at drugs. Pinakita ebidensya si Duterte ni Congressman Romeo Acop, pinakita tinuro sa shabu at drugs. Tara panoorin natin.
For my last question, sir, kung meron po bang representative dito, sa mga nag-file po ng cases against you, bakit kayo po yung agad na mga finailan nila? Ano po ang kumbaga anong inspirasyon nila? Ba't kayo agad yung napasok at nabigyan ng na file ng sunod-sunod na mga kaso?
Your Honor, sa case ko po ay pinaka-worst po yun dahil magkasama kami ng PDEA na nanghuli. I'm sure they were present today. Wala kaming pinakawalan kundi tinorn over properly sa PDEA. Then during the Senate hearing, nandun lang kami. I don't know what was the reason bakit nagkaroon ng conspiracy to import. Na present po ang PDEA during the time of the apprehension. Then the magnetic lifter loaded with shabu was also apprehended inside of the area of the Bureau of Customs. Hindi po nakalabas. Hindi pa po na-examine, kundi that was already an abandoned shipment. And hindi po namin makuha, bakit po yung personnel ng customs ay hindi po ginalaw, hindi nakasuhan? Bakit ko ako na isa sa mga nanghuli, ako po ang kinasuhan? Kasama po si then late Colonel Pajardo at saka si Colonel Acerto, then the rest. Ang pinaka-worst pa po noon, may umadmit pa kung sino ang may-ari ng kargamento na hinuli namin na nawawala hanggang ngayon. Hindi na makita. It was presented in the Senate. Then after na may present sa Senate, nawala yung umamin na kanya yung consignee, siya ang may-ari ng consignee. So ako na po ang hinabol ng hinabol nung dating administrasyon. And hopefully, Your Honor, we be given right and proper justice.
Follow up na lang po, Mr. Chair. Sir Jimmy, what are you expecting from all of these hearings? Kaya si Sir Mark, may expectation pa po ba kayo? O siyempre, naisiwalat nyo na po yung mga statements, yung mga kailangan yung sabihin through your affidavits. Is there still hope? Meron pa po ba kayong ine-expect na mangyari po dito sa mga hearings natin?
Thank you, Your Honor. Of course, Your Honor, we are expecting a speedy trial of our case, especially in my case that I am on appeal. Then at the same time sana, Your Honor, pairalin po yung tama na batas, rule of law. Huwag naman po sana yung impluensya. Dahil nakitang-kita naman po kahit na hindi pa po abogado, hindi masyadong marunong sa legal, nandoon po yung katunayan na wala po kaming ginawa kundi hulihin lang ang illegal na droga sa loob mismo ng customs at wala pong nawawala. Thank you po.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Ortega. The last to interpolate on the topic of drugs before we proceed sa EJK is Congressman Acop. Congressman Acop, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Nagpalista ako dahil sa mga statement or sagot ni Mr. Jimmy Guban sa mga katanungan ni Honorable Ortega. Before I proceed there, Mr. Chair, may I ask PDEA,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
could you compare yung status ng illegal drug situation in this country between 2024 and 2023? Alin po ang nagkaroon tayo ng problema sa illegal drugs? 2023, 2024, or what?
What will we compare, sir? 23 and 24?
Yeah, for 2024, mas marami ba kaysa doon sa 2023 ang illegal drugs in this country?
Ang huli ngayon, sir, is paliit ng paliit, sir.
So it's improving.
Yes, sir. Paliit na paliit yung huli namin ngayon, sir.
O baka naman humihina kayo sa panghuli?
Di,
Di
sir,
ba pwede yun?
nag-operate na, sir, yung PNP joint with PDEA. Kaya, overall, sir, for 2024, sir, kaunti yung nahuhuli namin, sir.
Ah, ganon.
Yes, sir.
Sige. Mr. Guban, ako na-surprise ako doon sa mga sagot mo kay Honorable Ortega. May I know kung sino po ang nag-imbestiga sa kaso po ninyo?
Your Honor, as far as my recollection is concerned, it was PDEA.
PDEA.
Yes, Your Honor.
The same is true with Mr. Taguba. Sabay kayo.
Magkahiwalay po kami, Your Honor. Nauna po yung
PDEA
sa
rin
kanya.
na nag-imbestiga sa'yo. At nag-file ang kaso. May I know who was the director of PDEA then?
During that time, Your Honor, nabasa ko ang director during that time is si General Aquino, Your Honor.
May I know, Mr. Chair, if Director General Aquino is present in this hearing today?
Yes, Your Honor, he is present. He was invited and he is here today, Congressman Akop.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Totoo po ba yung sagot ni Mr. Guban na kayo po ang Director General ng PDEA when his case was investigated by your office?
That's right, Mr. Chair.
That's right. So, narinig niyo po naman yung mga sagot ni Mr. Guban dun sa mga katanungan ni Honorable Ortega na nagtataka siya kung bakit yung mga illegal drugs naman ay nandun sa loob ng customs area at sila nga ang nakahuli. Nagtataka siya bakit sila lang ang nakasuhan. Could you explain that to this committee?
Actually, sir, more than 40 drug personalities ang napailan ng kaso with regards to this magnetic lifters discovery. Marami, sir, na hold, may mga Chinese, may Vietnamese, may mga personalities sa mga customs and all other personalities that is involved in that particular case.
We're talking of yung drug haul, illegal drug haul na involved si Mr. Jimmy Guban.
Yes, sir.
Doon lang tayo, hindi yung ibang mga insidente.
Yun na yun, sir. Yung discovery ng magnetic
Yeah.
lifters.
May I know how many personnel of customs were charged because of this incident?
How many personnels who were, ano yun, sir?
Oh, personnel of customs. Kasi sabi ni Mr. Guban, yung illegal drugs hindi naman nakalabas sa customs eh. Would that be correct, Mr. Guban?
Yes, Your Honor.
At kayo po ang nakadiscover doon. Kung tama yung pagkarinig ko, doon sa sagot nyo sa tanong ni Honorable Ortega,
Yes, Your Honor.
di ba?
Together
Kayo
with
ni
Colonel Asierto and
late,
Colonel Pardo.
Colonel Fardo at saka
Colonel Asierto, Your Honor.
Colonel Asierto, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, may no, kung ilan pong tao sa customs ang na-filean po ninyo ng kaso regarding this issue?
Merong mga napailan ng kaso, sir, sa customs, particularly dun sa x-ray machines and all other departments. Hindi ko lang, sir, exactly yung alam kung ilan, sir, ang napailan na ng mga, lahat ng personnel ng customs.
Mr. Guban, what can you say about the answer of Director General Aaron Aquino?
Your Honor, hindi pa ho na-x-ray yan kasi nahuli po yan sa loob mismo ng yarda ng Manila International Container Port.
Hindi na nga po sana ako magtatanong. Kaya lang, nakuha yung aking interest doon sa mga kasagutan ni Mr. Guban, doon sa mga pagtatanong ni Honorable Ortega, na yung illegal drug shipment ay nahuli naman doon sa loob ng customs. Hindi naman po nahuli sa labas nandun sa loob ng customs. So, ako, even an ordinary person will say, bakit yung mga taga-customs, bakit nakapasok doon? Di ba? And ang tanong ko, bakit si Mr. Guban na lang nandun sa kulungan? Kaya ang tanong ko, meron pa bang taga-customs personnel na nakakulong because of this issue?
Yung nangyari sa MICP, sir, I think
you're
it's
not
only...
answering my question, DG. My question is, meron pa bang personnel ng customs aside from Mr. Guban na nakakulong dahil sa issue na ito?
Siya lang, sir, sa Bureau
Bakit
of
po kaya?
Customs.
Are you trying to tell us na nakapasok yung illegal drugs sa loob ng customs na walang pagkukulang yung ibang tauhan ng customs? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Sir, hindi lang siya napailan ng kaso doon, sir. Meron din kami mga Chinese na napailan ng kaso doon, the importers.
Hindi, ang pinag-uusapan natin yung customs. Huwag mong isidetrack yung issue na pinupursu ko. Ang tanong ko is, why is it na yung tao, kasi ang tanong ni Mr. Guban kanina sa katanungan ni Honorable Ortega, bakit ako lang nakakulong, ako pang nakahuli? Hindi naman nakalabas sa customs yung illegal drugs. So, paano nakapasok sa customs yung illegal drugs na walang pagkakamali o pagkukulang yung mga taga-customs? Could you explain that to me?
Sir, I can explain kung paano nakapasok, sir, yung container van sa...
Kayo ang nag-imbestiga Bakit? Ikaw na rin mismo nagsabi, siya lang ang customs personnel na napailan ng kaso. Why?
The container van came from Malaysia, and the container vans were abandoned. And that's the reason why nagkaroon ng coordination ng PDEA, Bureau of Customs, to check the legality of the container van. Kaya with all the requirements needed, na binuksan, sir, yung container van to check what's inside.
Mr. Guban, the Director General is not answering my question directly. Bago pumasok sa customs area, galing sa ibang bansa, meron po bang customs office o personnel na dadaanan?
Yes, Your Honor, dahil nandun yun sa container yard, dapat meron doon naka-assign na customs personnel, Your Honor, from that district. Port Collection District na Manila International Container Port, from District Collector, meron pong, I do not remember the office right, na nagbabantay mismo, Your Honor, ng mga container na nandoon sa abandon at saka mga bagong dating ng mga containers, Your Honor.
Hindi. Pagdating, for example, if it came from Vietnam, for example lang ito, sino po ang tumatanggap ng mga container na ito na taga-customs pagpasok sa customs area?
Your Honor, kasama ang PPA ang yung port operation, Your Honor. So yung Deputy Collector for Report of Operation, meron yan nagsasampa sa barko, sila nag-inspect din sa kapuyan ibababa sa container yard. So yung Port Operation Deputy Collector, Your Honor, yung office niya down the line.
Now, may I ask, ano po kaya ang dahilan? Bakit kayo lang po na-charge sa taga Bureau of Customs, samantalang kayo po ang nakadiskubre?
Until now, Your Honor, puzzle po yan hanggang ngayon sa akin dahil kami ang nanghuli. Ako, Your Honor, ang ipinakulong. And according to the complaint of the Director General during that time, ay kami daw ay nag-conspire with Colonel Acerto and Colonel Fajardo na kung saan kami po ang nagtrabaho niyan para mahuli, hindi makalabas sa loob ng BOC upon request of the Honorable Commissioner Lapina. So ibig sabihin po, lalo na abandon container yan, mayroong nakakaalam sa office ng Manila International Container Port kung aling mga containers ang abandoned na walang gumagalaw. Ibig sabihin po, may kausap doon na tiga-custom.
Kasi yun po yung kumbaga sa question mark o may walang kasagutan sa aking mga katanungan sa aking isip. Bakit the investigating body cannot explain to this committee bakit po yung nanghuli at hindi nakalabas yung illegal drugs sa customs, na taga-customs, siya ngayon ang nakakulong. Matanong ko nga po kayo.
Meron din kasing na-discover kaming container van, sir, sa GMA Cavite na nakalink doon sa MICP container or the magnetic lifters. So, dalawang magnetic
DJ
lifters
Aaron, malayo po yung sagot nyo doon sa aking katanungan eh.
Sir, kaya nga namin sila kinasuhin din because nakalink din sila doon sa kaso na na-discover namin sa GMA na 4 naman na magnetic lifters na na-discover namin. So these are the same magnetic lifters that was discovered in MICP. And perhaps, sir, I can also ask the legal service of PDEA to determine the real reason, sir. I am sorry, sir.
Pedea, what would be your answer to the request of former DG Aaron Aquino?
Sir, we'll check with the records. We are not still there in PDEA when that happened, but we can get it from the records of PDEA, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I cannot proceed more because PDEA is not ready to give an answer to my questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Akop. Perhaps we will just pursue that line of questioning when the legal department of PIDEA will be present in the next committee hearing. Yung tanong ko lang ulit sa Bureau of Customs, no. Ang legal department, 'di ba, kapag ka merong order for seizure, kayo 'yan, 'di ba? Sa office nyo nanggagaling yung seizure orders, correct?
No, Your Honor. It comes from the port collector.
So, ang port collector orders the legal department to issue a seizure order.
No, Your Honor. It's the port collector who issues the warrant of seizure and detention.
So, ang ano yan, ang port collector.
Yes, sir.
Now, kung merong order of seizure, paano naman nalilift yung order na yan?
Okay. Warrant of seizure and detention assumes that the items are imported. And if it's imported, pwedeng may incidents ng duties and taxes or
Merong
violations.
technical smuggling
misdeclaration,
or outright smuggling, correct?
Misdeclaration, undervaluation, or misclassification, Your Honor. And then after the issuance of the WSD, the port conducts a hearing to determine if liable for forfeiture po yung...
Who conducts the hearing?
It's the law division of the port.
So, in this case, kayo.
It's the law division of the port, Your Honor.
So, iba pa rin yung legal ng customs sa law division ng port?
The port, the law division belongs to the port, Your Honor. Legal service is in the central office.
Okay, so who now orders the lifting of the seizure order or yung WSD?
So after the hearing, Your Honor, depende dun sa mapapatunayan during the seizure hearings, it can be released or forfeited. If it's released, Your Honor, that's a decision against the government. It's a subject to automatic review by the commissioner.
Just like recently, meron tayong na-seize na mga bigas that was forfeited in favor of the government, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, in other words, yung order to lift the seizure would have been issued or would have come from the office of the legal department under the law department.
Upon its review, Your Honor, we make recommendations to the Commissioner of Customs.
And then,
And then we draft the recommendation, Your Honor, for the approval of the Commissioner.
sige, we will just perhaps continue that line of questioning sa next because we can now proceed
Meron din ako itatanong din tungkol doon sa isyong yon. If I may.
Okay, sandali. Kasi last interpellator si Congressman Acop sa topic ng drugs, but we can
may ano lang.
allow you for a short interjection. Congressman
Yes,
Dan Fernandez and then Congressman Paduano.
Yes, sino ba ng mga nagko-conduct ng mga raids? Doon sa, halimbawa, na-issuean sila ng LOA. Di ba mga CIIS ang nagko-conduct?
Primarily, Your Honor, the intelligence group who...
Intelligence group of what
Of the Bureau
division?
of Customs, Your Honor. It's a group.
Ano pangalan ng group nila?
Intelligence group, Your Honor. CIIS.
Yun na nga, yun na yung sinabi ko kanina. CIIS. Sila yung nagko-conduct. Kaya nga, Mr. Chairman, siguro kailangan po natin maimbita. Sino ang head ng CIIS ng Port of Manila and ng MICP? Head. In
For
chiefs.
MICP, Your Honor, I think certain NCISO and for POM, Your Honor, I think it's a certain Joel Pinawin, Your Honor.
Okay. So sila ang mga nagko-conduct ng mga raids na yon.
They implement the letter of authority issued by the Commissioner, Your Honor.
Yeah.
They're the ones who enforces the letter of authority.
So ngayon, kapag na-enforce na nila yung letter of authority at naging successful nga yung raids, what happened next?
Your Honor, in the enforcement of the letter of authority, the letter of authority comes from the visitorial powers of the Commissioner. It's the power of the Commissioner to ask proof of duties, proof of payment of duties and taxes on goods openly held for sale or being kept in storage. These are imported goods, openly held for sale or kept in storage. So with the letter of authority, the enforcement of which authorizes the officer of the Bureau of Customs to enforce it to ask for the submission of proof of payment of duties and taxes, Your Honor.
Pero dapat, before that raids na nangyari, hindi na sila dapat nakalabas doon sa port di ba?
Your Honor, if the owner of the goods are able to prove payment, due payment of duties and taxes, then it's okay, Your Honor. It's released or it's given back to, or it's not being seized. But if there's no, if the owner fails within 15 days, fails to show proof that
Bakit 15 days, attorney?
nakalagay po
Napakahaba naman nun.
Nakalagay-
Ano ba yan? Room for negotiation? Kasi pag 15 days, you can do anything Or
Your Honor-
bakit 15 days atap? Samantalang kung mapapakita mo na meron ka ng mga dokumento, right away. Di ba? Para walang room for negotiation. Kasi yun ang nangyayari Di ba?
Your Honor, the 15-day period is provided for in the CMTA under Section 224.
Nang
CMTA, Your Honor.
CM.
CMTA. Customs Modernization and Tariff Act.
Kaya nga, we need to amend that. Dahil kung 15 days, napakahaba nun. Di ba? So, Mr. Chair, I think we need to dig deeper dito sa sa isyong to kasi medyo dito tayo nakakakita ng window ng ng problema. At kung walang mga naparusahan sa BOC employee na nakapag-issue mga commissioner ng LOA saka ng SWD, tingin ko dito, Mr. Chairman, dito tayo naiisahan ng mga nagtatarang yan sa BOC. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Dan. Yes, as I said earlier, pagpapatuloy natin yung topic na yan dun sa next hearing natin dyan sa Bureau of Customs. Yes, and last but not the least, on the issue of drugs, Congressman Paduano.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Anyway, Mr. Mike sila to, isang question lang po sa current customs officials. Kasi as I've heard kanina, doon sa sagot ni former Commissioner Feldon at saka ni Commissioner La Peña, it was admitted by them na indeed there is a TARA system in the customs. Eto, attorney, ikaw nga 2009 ka pa, mas nauna pa ka sa kanila. Parang kanina, parang ayaw mo pang aminin na may sistema dyan. Di ba? Mas nauna ka sa kanila, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Now, maswerte ka, hanggang ngayon nandyan ka pa. Now, eto, attorney, narinig mo ba yung yung supposedly proposed reforms that was proposed by Commissioner Paildon and Commissioner La Peña with regards to modernization and digitalization of the customs?
Actually, Your Honor, at the currently...
No, yes or no lang po.
Yes, I have heard, Your
Oh,
Honor.
you have heard. Hindi pa nga ako nagtatanong ng next question ko. Defensive ka na eh.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Commissioner La Peña, former Commissioner La Peña, Commissioner Paildon, do you believe that if the reforms that you have mentioned will be implemented dun sa sistema sa customs, if not totally eradicated yung TARA system, that can minimize the TARA system?
Yes, Your Honor, it can substantially minimize the TARA system.
General La Peña.
Yes, Your Honor. That can greatly minimize, if not stop, the TARA system.
So, tama din po ba that may budget na during your time, Commissioner Paildon?
Yes, sir, around 400 million plus. But when I assume, because it's a project of, I think, Commissioner Biason pa, but when I assume it's already a subject of court litigation, so it was withheld and never implemented during my time because the case was not resolved during my time. So hindi ko alam after me if na-resolve yun at na-implement siya.
Nung time
Your
mo,
Honor.
thank you, Commissioner Paildon, nung time mo, Jen, La Peña, yung time mo, what happened to that, modernization plan? Or budget na mismo, budgeted na pala?
Beg your pardon, Your Honor. Are you referring to when you say organization, you are referring to the centralized command center?
I think we're talking about the proposed, supposedly the reform that former Commissioner Biason wants to implement, and it was during the time also of Commissioner Paildon. Kaya lang po nagkakaso daw. So, nung time mo, ano ba bang nangyari doon?
I did not come across that project of Commissioner Biason, Your Honor.
So, you're not familiar about it?
No, Your Honor.
Attorney, sa ngayon po, are you familiar with that? 2009 ka pa eh.
Your Honor, currently the Bureau of Customs is undertaking...
Again, please, Attorney, answer my query. You're the legal. The time legal ka na, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, now, ang tanong ko, nasa legal ka ng custom during the time, what happens now? Ano yung update doon? Doon sinasabi ni former Commissioner Paildon, a project during the time of Commissioner Biason, and pinalo up lang ni Commissioner Paildon, kailang may kaso. Sa legal ka the time, ano na ngayon yung status noon? At what are the efforts being done by the present Commissioner?
Your Honor, as I've been saying a while ago, Your Honor, currently we are undertaking digitization of all our functions, Your Honor, and I think we are at the threshold of 90%. However, we are being handicapped by a certain case pending with the Manila trial courts, enjoining or stopping the Bureau of Customs from further improving its system, Your Honor.
Sino yung ano?
There's a case, Your Honor. It's a case filed against the Bureau of Customs by a certain Omniprime, Your Honor. Omniprime case.
Ano yung company niyan? Importer?
No, Your Honor. It's a service.
Ang case nyo is not all about the implementation of the project, but with regards to the
With regards to the improvement of our system, computer system,
pero ang nag-file ng case against you is,
Omniprime. It's,
ano yung Omniprime? Ano yung interest nila doon?
Your Honor, they participated in a bidding, Your Honor.
So it's not all about their intention to stop.
Yeah,
But because they are part of the bidding, tapos hindi po nabigay sa kanila, tama? Ganon po ba?
Yes, Your Honor. There
Now,
was-
is a different case that happens during the time of former Commissioner Peldon and Commissioner Biason? It's a different case.
If my memory serves me right, Your Honor, I think it started with Commissioner Lina, Your Honor. Yeah, Commissioner Lina.
Okay, anyway, Mr. Chairman, since Chairman Navantes already moved that we will invite Commissioner Rubio, siguro po tama din lang na in the next hearing dapat po ipatawag natin si Commissioner Rubio para diretso po na masagot niya yung mga katanungan, especially those proposed reforms that was proposed by former Commissioners of Customs. Now, Mr. Chairman, punta ko lang po si Jimmy Guban. Jimmy, yung case na nakaharap mo ngayon, is that, sino ba yung source of information na may papasok na droga that time?
Your Honor, that came from Colonel Asierto and
Okay.
Colonel Fajardo.
Colonel Acerto and Colonel Fajardo then kinordinate sa'yo.
Yes, Your Honor, dahil sa customs ako po na ang nag-monitor sa loob kasi hindi naman sila makakapasok.
Okay.
At wala silang direct line para sa customs.
So, may information, nahuli mo.
Together with PDEA, Your Honor.
Together
Your Honor, I am working inside of the Bureau of Customs together with PDEA.
Okay, with PDEA.
representative of the PDEA, Your Honor.
Who is the head of the operations at time? That
During that
coordinated
time,
you?
Your Honor, the director of NCR was then late Colonel Fajardo. Pero yung team leader niya sa port, I think a certain Bagawi in Soriano. Soriano testified, Your Honor, in court na we were together nung nagtinatrabaho namin yan. Agent Soriano,
So,
intelligence
Agent
officer.
Soriano is still active in the PDEA?
I'm sure,
PDEA?
Your Honor. Soriano
PDEA.
in Bagawi, Your Honor.
PDEA? Hindi kasi, Mr. Chairman, ganito
Sir,
lang
will
po.
verify if it is
Yeah,
still active.
please verify it. Then, Mr. Chairman, with that, I move that we will invite a certain Soriano.
Intelligence Officer Soriano and Intelligence Officer Bagawi, Your Honor.
Intelligence Officer Soriano, Intelligence Officer Bagawi. Para makalinawan lang po, kasi is General Aquino still present?
Yes, I think...
Kanina nakaupo siya eh. Nawala. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, since for the interest of time, ganito lang po. Pakiano lang po, kay General Aquino, be present in the next hearing because during your stint as the PDEA Director General, sa'yo po nangyari to, yung sa case nila Jimmy Guban. Kasi gusto ko lang tingnan, bakit yung information galing kina Asierto, at alam naman natin ngayon si Asierto nakatago. Testifying in the ICC, part of the witnesses in the ICC. Tapos, sa inyo galing, sa kanila galing information, ikaw nag-operate, together with the PDEA,
Yes, Your
tapos kayo ngayon ang nakasuhan. Ayun ang hindi ko maintindihan. But your case, ang kaso mo is not part of that discovery doon sa Cavite that was mentioned by
No,
General
Your
Aquino?
Honor, that was already dismissed. Sa piskalya pa lang, wala na po yung Cavite, Your Honor. Ang i-file nila sa amin yung nahuli namin mismo sa loob. Dahil wala naman pong katotohanan yung Cavite.
Jimmy.
Yes, Your Honor.
But ang Cavite was also filed against you.
No.
Yes, Your Honor, but pagdating sa piskalya, dinismiss na po kaagad.
Ang kaso doon sa Cavite, that's also involved Acerto and Fardo.
Yes, Your Honor, pero...
So, tatlo pa rin kayo.
Yes, the same, Your Honor po. Kami pong tatlo
Hindi,
na...
tatlo lang kayo. No other than...
Meron pa po, Your Honor, yung may-ari ng magnetic lifter ng doon sa customs at saka yung certain tatlo o dalawang Chinese.
Sana
po
ngayon
yata.
yung may-ari at saka yung dalawa, tatlong Chinese national.
Your Honor, nawawala po. Tapos pati po yung umami na may-ari ng kargamento na nahuli sa loob ng customs, nawawala rin po.
Oh, please, Mr. Chairman, please, can we get all the names that was... matanda mo pa ba yung mga pangalan, Jimmy?
Taguba, Your Honor, Mr. Taguba, yung asawa, babae, Katipan. Umamin po yan, Your Honor, during the Senate
Mr.
hearing.
Chairman, can we ask the help of the CIDG or the Philippine National Police to locate those persons
Tiga Kalapan po yan, Your Honor.
mentioned by
Calapan City.
by Jimmy, kasi kailangan patawag natin yan para tayo magkaalaman na kasi we will not discuss about the merit of the
Bikaba,
case.
Your Honor, Bikaba Trading.
This committee will not discuss about the merit of the case in regards to the case that has filed to you and now under appeal. What I'm saying is, medyo nakapagtataka lang kasi kayo pong may hawak na information, kayo pa pong humuli, now, kayo pong nakasuhan. Yun lang po. Kaya we have to clear it out dun sa mga possible persons, no? Persons involved in that operations, Mr. Chairman. With that, as of now, Mr. Chairman, yun na po muna. General Aquino, next time lang po. Kasi naghabol po tayo ng oras. I will ask you once again the question that I asked when you were not around. No? Next time na lang po.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you,
Chairman.
Congressman Paduano. Comsec, please take note of the persons that Congressman Paduano would want to invite for the next committee hearing. Ulitin ko po, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Magandang umaga po sa ating mga resource persons at salamat sa inyong oras na ibinigay para sa bayan. Good morning, Senior Deputy Speaker Aurelio Dong Gonzales, our Deputy Speaker JJ Suarez, the Quadcom co-chairs Benny Abante, Dan Fernandez, Joseph Caraps Paduano, and our overall Vice Chair Quadcom, Vice Chair Romy Acop, distinguished colleagues and members of the Quadcom, and esteemed guests. Welcome to our 14th joint public hearing of the Quad Committee for the first for the year 2025. Last year, we have unmasked and identified several personalities who got involved with criminal syndicates and engaged in illegal activities in the country like illegal pogos, money laundering, human trafficking, kidnapping, murder, illegal drug trade, smuggling, extrajudicial killings, illegal land acquisitions, fake citizenships, bribery, graft and corruption, and use of the government and its resources in furtherance of these illegal acts. As a result, Quadcom has initially recommended the following: further investigation of several personalities by the proper agencies to be able to build stronger cases against them, the enactment of laws that will permanently ban pogos, the forfeiture of pogo assets and the real properties of foreigners and foreign-owned corporations who are constitutionally barred from owning such assets, the cancellation of late registered birth certificates, and the prosecution of government officials who facilitated these illegal activities and who ordered the extrajudicial killings of people suspected of being involved in illegal drugs for reward, and those who transformed the armed services into a killing machine in order to pursue their sinister agenda. Ngayon po sa ating pagbabalik, ay meron naman po tayong naisilipin na mga pangyayari kung saan sa aming palagay ay para bagang nagbunga ng hindi makatarungang resulta para sa mga nasangkot. Ang Quadcom ay hindi lamang para tugisin ang mga nagkasala sa taong bayan, kundi para maghanap din po at makatulong sa paghahanap ng hustisya para sa mga taong pinagbintangan at dilapatan ng mga kaparusahang hindi makatarungan at hindi karapat-dapat. Ang paghahanap ng hustisya na ito ay sa pamamagitan ng pagpapatibay pa ng mga batas at dagdagan ang kanilang ngipin upang maiwasan ang injustice, ika nga. Layunin din naming na mabigyan ng pagkakataon na mailahad sa publiko ang kanilang kaso at baka sakali maraming nakikinig na makakatulong magbigay ng impormasyon na maaaring mapawalang sala sila sa ating mga hukuman. Ang mga pagpuslit ng tonelalang droga na nagkakahalaga ng mahigit 12 bilyong piso na ibinintang sa mga maliliit na tao ay isang kahina-hinalang hakbang upang pagtakpan ang mga tunay na may kinalaman. Ang mga taong nagdurusa ngayon ay ngayon ng pagkakabilanggo ng 40 taon o 40 years ay ang mga sumusunod. Si Mark Taguba, isang batang-batang negosyante na sumasalo lamang ng mga pinarating ng mga nag-angkat o importer ng mga bagay-bagay kasama na ang illegal na droga. Wala siyang alam sa laman ng containers na kanya lamang tinatanggap bilang consignee ng mga taong kausap naman ng mga pinanggalingan ng mga kargamento na nag-ipon naman ng mga orders o binili ng mga maraming tao at inilagay sa isang container. Wala po ba kayang reasonable doubt sa kanyang pagkakaugnay dito? Si Mr. Fidel Anoche D., isang matandang bantay sa bodega o bodigero na tumanggap ng ipinain na droga ng mga PIDEA agents sa isang pamamaraan na tinawag nilang controlled delivery, subalit sa paraang taliwas sapagkat ang mga droga ay kinuha mismo ng mga ahente sa lapag ng isang warehouse at isinakay sa isang container van at truck at i-deliver sa isa pang bodega na pagmamayari ng iba at ipinatanggap sa bodegero na walang kamalay-malay. Ang bodegero ay kinasuhan at ngayon ay nagdurusa sa loob ng bilangguan. Wala din po bang reasonable doubt sa kaso niya? Ang ginawang controlled delivery ay nagpatibay noon sa hearings ng Committee on Dangerous Drugs kung saan mismong ang PIDEA ang nagsalaysay na umano'y inabutan nila ang mga droga sa Hongfei warehouse na nakalabas na sa container at ito'y nasa lapag na. Dinagdag din noon na nagalit pa nga ang Director General ng PIDEA sa mga ginawa ng mga customs personnel sa pangunguna ni Customs Commissioner Faildon sapagkat nagalaw na raw ang ebidensya. Si Mr. Jimmy Guban, isang dating empleyado ng customs na siyang nakadiskubre ng mga droga sa mga tinatawag na magnetic lifters. Siya na nga ang nakapagsumbong at nakadiskubre, siya pa ang nakulong ng 40 years. Inimbestigahan din ito ng Committee on Dangerous Drugs noong 2018. At ako pa rin ang tumatayong chairman noong panahong yon. Hindi po ba may reasonable doubt na sa kaso niya kasi siya nga ang nakadiskubre ng droga? Si Miss Jed Pilapil C., asawa ng sinasabing Chinese drug lord sa Davao City. Sari-saring bintang ang ipinatong sa kanya dahil lamang asawa siya ng isang pinaghihinalaang drug lord na hanggang sa oras na ito ay sinasabing at large o hindi matagpuan. Kinuha sa kanyang tirahan ng walang warrant of arrest at hindi na pinalaya mula noon. Sa pilitang hiniwalay sa kanyang noon ay sanggol na anak. Pinapirma ng waiver sapagkat siya ay kinuha ng walang warrant na nangangahulugang kidnapping at mula nga noong Enero 2005 ay ikinulong na hanggang sa kasalukuyan. Si Mr. Jong Pilapil, kapatid ni Miss Jed Pilapil C., na ilang buwan pa lamang sa Davao City sapagkat pinakiusapan ni Jed na magbantay sa kanilang tindahan. Nasa ibang probinsya si Jong nang pinagbintangan siyang kasabwat sa illegal na droga doon sa Davao City at mula noon hanggang ngayon ay nakakulong. Ilan lamang sila sa mga nagdurusa na parang mga walang kasalanan. Ang mas mahalagang tanong na dapat sagutin ng mga nag-akusa sa kanila ay ito: sino-sino ang tunay na may-ari ng mga illegal na droga na ibinibintang ninyo sa mga taong ito? Sino-sino ang nagpalabas ng mga kargamentong ito mula sa Bureau of Customs nang walang masusing inspeksyon? Wala po bang reasonable doubt sa kanilang partisipasyon upang sana ay hindi naman sila nahatulan ng 40 years? Isang tanong ang nabuo sa isipan ng marami nating kababayan. Sa mga bilyong-bilyong halaga ng mga droga, ito bang nakasuhan at nakakulong sa kasalukuyan, mukha bang mga bilyonaryo? Ano ang konklusyon ng inyong mga investigasyon na nagdawit sa kanila? Bakit ang sangkatutak na mga nirekomendang kasuhan ng parehong Committee on Dangerous Drugs at Senate Blue Ribbon Committee tulad sa mga membro o kawani ng Bureau of Customs na nagpadaan sa green lane ng mga kontrabandong ito. At doon sa mga nagsagawa ng raid, di umano, kasama ang mga PIDEA agents na nag-implement ng controlled delivery. Sila Richard Tan, alias Chen, also known as Chen Julong, na siyang may-ari ng warehouse na unang tumanggap ng droga, ay hindi kinasuhan at nananatiling malaya. Sa tindi ng inyong investigasyon ay wala kayong natukoy na may-ari ng tone-toneladang droga na ipinuslit sa Bureau of Customs. Sa NBI, na unang nag-imbestiga ng metal cylinders at magnetic lifters, na sa unang mga investigasyon ay dose-dosenang mga akusado ang inyong inimbitahan. Subalit sa dulo, ang sinampahan ninyo lamang ng kaso ay itong mga fall guys na ito. Si dating prosecutor Aristotle Reyes, na di umano matapos sampahan ng kaso ang mga fall guys, ay na-promote bilang isang RTC judge na ngayon ay balitang di umano ay nag-a-apply din bilang isang justice ng Sandigan Bayan, kung ito man po ay totoo. Gusto sana nating makaharap dito si Judge Reyes upang malinawan ang mga bagay na ito, subalit kinakailangan pa natin ng pahintulot ng Korte Suprema dahil sa siya ay isa na pong judge. Isang bagay na kailangan malinawan ay ang mga charges di umano na ginawa ni prosecutor na sinang-ayunan ng Department of Justice under the former Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre. At ito ang mga charges na di umano. Si Fidel Anoche D. na bodigero ay sinampahan ng kaso. Subalit si Chen Julong o Richard Tan na nagmamayari mismo ng warehouse kung saan dinala ang mga droga ay hindi nakasuhan. Tama po ba? Gusto sana naming malaman ang mga dahilan kung ano at sino-sino ang mga hindi nakasuhan na kasama sa investigasyon na iyon. Hindi din nakasuhan ang mga PIDEA agents for, quote, planting of evidence na kung saan ang mga droga ay dinala doon sa warehouse na yon on the basis of the bungled controlled delivery. Mismong si former Director General Wilkins Villanueva ang naglahad nito sa Committee on Dangerous Drugs sa aming mga pagdinig. Hindi din kinasuhan ang mga tauhan ng customs na nagpalabas ng kargamentong may lamang droga, di umano, at sa halip ay kinasuhan si Mark Taguba ng conspiracy to import drugs at kung tama ang impormasyon ay facilitating the smuggling of drugs from the Bureau of Customs kung saan wala naman po siyang kontrol. Sino po ba ang tunay na may-ari ng mga drogang ito? Ang mga tunay na nag-angkat o nag-import nito? Ang mga may impluwensya sa mga tauhan ng customs na siyang nagpalabas ng kargamentong ito na walang inspeksyong ginawa. If these people who are now going to spend the good years of their lives in jail are indeed guilty, the investigators should not have stopped with them but should have determined the real culprits. If, however, these people are necessary fall guys in order to cover up for the truth, then we have committed a grave injustice which we are now compelled to rectify. A person's right to life and liberty is God-given. It is not yours or anybody's to trample upon or deny or sacrifice in exchange for a consideration just so the guilty shall remain free. Today, we shall also hear other testimonies of victims of EJK. We shall endeavor to aid in the quest for truth on the cold-blooded murder of General Wesley Barayuga of the PCSO during the time when Colonel Hector Grijaldo, the classmate of Colonel Garma, was the Mandaluyong Chief of Police. We will try to elicit from Colonel Grijaldo some important information pertaining to the murder. These are material information. For instance, why was the name of General Barayuga allegedly added to the list of drug personalities days after his murder? Why was there allegedly no report coming from the Mandaluyong Philippine National Police about the incident? Colonel Grijaldo has to explain this to this committee. Again, maraming salamat po sa inyong attendance, and we hope to have a fruitful and productive day and literally a much better New Year sa ating lahat. So magandang umaga at maraming salamat po. The next to deliver his opening remarks is the Chair of the Committee on Human Rights, Congressman Benny Abante. You are recognized.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat, sa ating mga colleagues, sa ating mga resource speakers and witnesses. Salamat po sa inyong pagdalo muli sa Quadcom hearing na ito. Kayo po ay kasama naming mga lingkod ng ating bayan. So again, we gather here in what? In pursuit of truth, justice, and accountability. Kung meron man dito nagsasabi na we're gathered here because of politics, gusto namin humarap siya rito para sabihin sa amin directly. As we open this hearing, let us be reminded of the words of Romans 13:3 and 4. And I would like to read in quote. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Ang rulers po dito ay hindi lamang ang ating political leaders, kundi lahat ng ating law enforcers. Ano po ang gawain natin? We are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good. Yan po ang command ng Scripture. Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of God to thee for good. Ang bawat opisyal po ng bayan ay tinawag na ministro ng Diyos para sa kabutihan. So ito po ang sinasabi, do that which is good. This is the standard by which we measure our actions in this quest for justice. This is the challenge to all who hold power, whether in government, law enforcement, or public service. Power must never be abused in order to shield wrongdoers. It must never be wielded to sow fear among the innocent. Power must serve only one purpose: to uphold what is just and to bring evil to account. Yet, time and time again, in the course of these hearings, we have seen the opposite. Those entrusted with the duty to protect have enabled injustice. Those who swore to uphold the law have hidden behind silence. Those called to testify, like former PIDEA Chief Wilkins Villanueva, and I would never question his good record in the Philippine National Police. I admire what he has done. But he has refused to answer the people's questions, forcing us to cite them for contempt. This is not a mere legal matter. It is a moral one. After all, the first laws that were made in the world were based upon a moral code. If we are to serve justice, if we are to save our countrymen from the clutches of extrajudicial killings, illegal drugs and pogos that have corrupted our institutions, then we must do that which is good. And this begins with the truth. May mga taong pinapasalamatan ang dating administrasyon sa war on drugs. Kine-question kami kung mas maganda ba na ang Pilipinas ay mahulog sa droga kaysa labanan ng droga. Sinabi namin, inulit-ulit namin dito, sinuportahan namin ang dating administrasyon sa war on drugs. Binanggit ko sa ating former president, ang hindi ko lang maintindihan kung bakit kinakailangang pumatay na more than 30,000 people para mawala ang drugs. Ang question dito ito, nawala ba? Hindi nawala ang drugs. Ganun pa rin. Ang inaakala po namin dito, ay baka naman tinanggal natin ang kompetisyon para ang maiwan na lamang sa drug trade ay yung mga nasa kapangyarihan. Yun ang nais kong sabihin. Oho, ayaw po natin mahulog ang bansa sa droga. Ayaw po natin yan. Pero ayaw din natin na ang buong Pilipinas maging killing fields. Na pumatay tayo, na hindi sinusunod ang ating saligang batas. Dito po ay atin nang nakita. Nung tinanong namin, bakit binaril to? Bakit pinatay ito? Sapagkat order po ito ng aming nakakataas. Kahit po ba ang order na nakakataas ay hindi ayon sa saligang batas, susundin ng ating mga law enforcers? Ano po ang sagot ng ating mga ibang law enforcer officials? Hindi po. Dapat sundin ang saligang batas. Ang ating Senador Boto de la Rosa, nung tinanong siya, ayaw naman yung humarap sa amin. Pinapaharap namin para maging malinaw lahat ng bagay. Anong ginagawa niya? Nagpupunta sa media. Kung ano-anong pinagsasabi niya. Sinisipa niya ang mga kapulisan na alam nila ang batas. Hindi nila dapat sundin ang nakakataas sa kanila kung naniniwala sila na hindi ito ayon sa batas. Pero sinunod Di ba? Now, yet, kahit na po sa kanya mga bagay, mga kababayan, I am not without hope. Mga kasama, the Quadcom was not convened to chase imaginary shadows. We are here because lives have been lost, because families have been torn apart, because organized crime operating under the guise of legal businesses has found protection in our own institutions, because a few law enforcers, hindi namin nila lahat, a few law enforcers have chosen to become instruments of terror instead of being ministers of justice. As I've said, hindi kami nawawala ng pag-asa dito. For history and experience tell us that there is always hope in the pursuit of righteousness. Hope that those who were once silent in the face of injustice will now have the courage to speak. Sinabi ko po yan sa Committee on Human Rights na huwag na kayong matakot sapagkat gumagawa na tayo ng paraan upang ma-address ang problemang ito. Pero nais kong sabihin sa ating mga kababayan, marami pa rin naging biktima ng pagpatay ay natatakot tumabas. Bakit natatakot? Yan po ba ang ibig sabihin ng leadership? Manakot tayo ng tao para sumunod sa atin? O maging halimbawa tayo ng tamang panunungkulan para ang tao at ang bayan ay sumunod sa atin? Hope that those complicit in wrongdoing will find the resolve to make things right. Hope that we, as lawmakers and public servants, will not allow fear or convenience to dictate the course of justice. To those who come before this committee, to those who still hesitate, to those who are reluctant and afraid to speak the truth, do that which is good. Not for us, not for politics, but for your countrymen who have suffered in silence. For the time for evasion has passed. The time for justice is now. Let these hearings be evidence of our commitment and proof of our resolve. We seek not vengeance, only truth. We wield this power not for personal gain, but for our people. And we will not stop until the evildoers who have plagued our country are unmasked, until justice is restored, and until righteousness prevails. Ano man ang pananakot na ginagawa sa amin. So may God guide us in the days ahead. Maraming salamat po at manigong bagong taon sa inyong lahat.
Ngayon, ikaw bilang Pilipino, ano ang masasabi mo at reaksyon sa balitang ito? Mag-iwan ka ng komento sa ibaba at atin pong babasahin isa-isa.